Hey, what's up guys? John here. There's a massive trend happening that people aren't really talking about. Americans are leaving America. They're going to South America. They're going to places such as Costa Rica. They're going to Mexico. They're going to Panama. They're leaving, and they're leaving for a good reason. Many people move to America, specifically California, from Mexico. A whopping 36% from 2014 to 2018 period, most immigrants from Mexico lived in California, 36%. Texas, 22%, Illinois, 6%, Arizona, 5%. What we're seeing is a massive amounts of people leaving California and going back to their home country. And I think they're doing this for a couple unique reasons. One, many people that moved to California from Mexico, they moved here for a better life. They wanted to send money back to their family. And now with the median home price in California, a whopping $797,470. Only 25% of state households could afford that in the fourth quarter of 2021. We're seeing people get priced out. So they're working hard. They might be earning a little bit more money, but the cost of living is through the roof. So much so that they're looking at their options saying, you know what, I might not make as much money, but if I move back to Mexico, I can live a better life. And then you have a whole new demographic of people that live in California or live in outside states saying, you know what, I don't like the direction that America is going in right now. It's too expensive. Regulations are really strict. Everything is getting pretty crazy. I can move to South America and I could take $300,000-$400,000 that I have for my retirement or my savings. I could buy a little place or I could rent a little place and I'm good for the rest of my life, right? Now, people are considering this. They're considering trading off some of the benefits that America at one time offered to what now Mexico offers, which is a laid-back lifestyle, cheap food, great food, really nice people, and a good life, right? People are considering this in great scale. But what's fascinating as well is it's not just people. We look at large institutional investors are now investing in South America, Latin America, Colombia. They're going Brazil. They're going to these areas because they can buy real estate. They can hire people for less money, very smart people, motivated people. America, we're losing that competitive advantage that we once had. Over the last couple of years, we've seen it erode. With this work from home trend, we're now seeing people hiring talent from overseas in different countries in different areas. And if you can do so and go to South America, which a lot of large companies are doing now, they can do it and they can hire 2 or 3 or 4 people for the price of one in California, right? In the Bay Area, in the key Palo Alto markets, right? This is what is happening right now. It's very fascinating. I think this trend's only going to continue as California and America most likely just continues down this direction of insanity, right? Why Mexican Americans are choosing to move to Mexico. Tens of millions of Mexicans immigrated to the U.S. to give their children better lives, but now some of those children are choosing to pack up and make their own lives in Mexico. The pandemic has fueled a major uptick in Americans looking to move abroad, including a growing number of people moving to countries where their families originated from, especially Mexico. Many of those expatriates desire not just to live abroad, but also to reconnect with their ancestral homeland and heritage. It's a move that often fraught with challenges and complex questions about identity. We talk with Americans of Mexican descent now living in Mexico and why they decided to migrate in reverse. Now, I believe what we are likely going to see is we're going to see a couple unique trends come to America, because as we start moving in this direction of what they call social justice, and they say we need affordable housing and we need all these different things, what I think is likely going to happen is the only way to fund this is going to be increased tax revenue, increased limitations on business. And people are going to say, you know what? I'm working so hard. The cost of living is so much. Gas prices are so incredibly high. Inflation's out of control. And at the end of the day, I'm doing all this for maybe something I don't believe in or something that I don't support. And so they're going to a different place where they can work remotely, they can work from home, or they can build out a team where they are from the country in which they decided to reside in. And then at that point in time, they could probably cut back on taxes and live a life that they agree with more. So I think we are going to see this trend continue, especially in markets like California. But when you have an average home price of $800,000, it's absolutely crazy. California's population growth has been declining for more than 30 years now. But thanks to the remote work due to the pandemic, those trends have accelerated the ability to work anywhere. has 62% of Americans considering moving to a new country. However, there are some setbacks. Many critics argue that Americans are driving up the cost of housing for locals and pricing them out of the market. We are also seeing this trend. California's population is shrinking, right? They said that in 2016, the state's population was estimated at about 38.7 million. The Public Policy Institute of California declared California will continue to gain millions of new residents in each of the new 2 decades. In the next 2 decades, increasing demand in all areas in infrastructure and public services, right? They intended to have 44.1 million people by 2030. So they were intending to increase that population dramatically, 15% increase in 8 years. Roughly. The 2020 census pegged the state's population at 39.5 million, and a recent report from the Census Bureau says California has a net loss of more than 250,000 residents between July of 2020 and July of 2021. Well, it's interesting. They said more than 250,000, so let's just call it a flat 300,000. Well, here they're saying more than 360,000 people left California in 2021 alone, right? So it's a pretty substantial sum. And what I think is very likely to happen here, also, if we start seeing situations in which there's food shortages in America, we've heard a lot of people talk about this, saying that, we're not able to get certain produce or certain items that are called chicken, beef. These things, as this all continues to happen, there's going to be so many people that say, you know what, we can go to Costa Rica, we can go to Mexico, we can get food directly from the farmer, we can get food directly from a small village for a fraction of the price. And we can do so by working at home. I think if we start to see food scarcity in this country, we're going to begin to see a real exodus. I think we're going to start to see situations in which housing costs start to skyrocket inside of these markets, mainly because there's going to be so many people from America that could go there and spending $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 to be in a beachside community outside of a farm and live the best of both worlds with access to good organic food and being near a beach, living a really good lifestyle, and having access to a community that's in line with similar beliefs, right? Humble, really nice people. It's going to be very, very hard to deny these benefits. I think we're going to start to see a lot of migration if we continue to see these problems start to come into America. But right now, we're looking at what Jerome Powell's planning to do. He's planning on increasing interest rates. The initial intent was a 50 basis point hike, but we just missed the inflation numbers, meaning that he could potentially either do a bigger hike at maybe 75 basis points or just continue on this trend. But as this happens, we're going to see more and more and more people looking for a different alternative, different options, right? I think we are going to see some very big trends. I think Mexico is going to see a huge demand. I think Costa Rica, I think Panama, I think Colombia, I think a lot of these markets are going to start to see demand where there's natural food production and where there's a tax system and structure in which is going to be favorable to Americans, and there's that great lifestyle component. I think that America is going to lose that desirability, especially as we step into this new era where all work is at least attempted to be done online only, right? If we start to move into this, if we have another situation, another problem, we're going to just see a massive migration south. That's my belief. I'm curious, what's your belief? Where do you see this entire situation going? Do you see a world in which we start to see a lot of people buying second homes and potentially migrating there full time to South America from America? Drop your comments below, hit the like button, subscribe. Also subscribe on my second YouTube channel. It's going to be an interactive show and a podcast starting this upcoming week. And the link for that is down below, top comment. And LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, everything's up with the banner. If you want to get started and you need help, let's say getting started on YouTube, you want to build out a YouTube channel, but you don't know how to do it, or you just don't want to waste the time trying to figure it out yourself, you want to partner up with me, cashnow.video. You have bi-weekly calls with me in a private community, a full-fledged YouTube course as well. And you want to invest in real estate when things hit the fan, cashnow.video, same access, private community, a full course. You have 3 dozen bonuses, basically everything you'd probably ever need as a landlord, all included as well. And if you need assistance with your credit, I have an amazing credit repair team. They're awesome. They're great. And they will help you as well. And all cashnow.video can be found. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.